In our coaching community, we have an annual planning methodology that includes 4 quarterly reviews. At the end of last year, we chose to do our quarterly review in Mexico. The core tool that we've used, we call the North Star Notecards. I challenge my members to include their personal and professional goals inside this single container. This has been successful. In fact, members have asked for a planner or notebook that goes along with the note cards. I've accepted that challenge, and since strategic planning can be such a heavy mental lift, I wanted to make this process as elegant as possible. I'm asking the current community for feedback, and in this video, I'm asking you too. Let me know what you think. Okay, Trey, here's the update on the annual planner. I'd like your feedback. We have the North Star Note Cards. This is our existing core annual planning tool. The thought work goes into designing these note cards in the way that we know. What you've asked for, what the community's asked for, is a planner to go along with this particular tool. Take your North Star Note Cards, you will submit them to the virtual team, and the virtual team will start making things for you. So it's going to make you a cover sheet for your annual planner, 5-year bucket list, 3-year bucket list, current year bucket list. It's going to give you the metrics you need to be hitting this year so that all of those things are true. Let me show you what that looks like in practicality. You fill out a form, talk to the virtual team, and the virtual team kicks out the following report. It gives you your cover page. It shows you your 5-year bucket list, your mission, your number, both in gold and bronze metrics. It shows you your 5 freedoms from a 5-year perspective: finance, family, fun, friends, faith, and fitness. There's a space for notes. It shows you your 3-year bucket list: my mission, my number, gold, bronze, 5 freedoms. Space for notes. It shows you your current year commitments: my mission, my number, 5 freedoms, a space for notes, and then it continues the remainder of your note card section. Section 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then it shows you your 2024 metrics, the metrics you have to meet in order for those other numbers to be true. There is a 1 lead per week, 1 client per month structure. And this is how that would flow. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. Every quarter, you generate 12 conversations. You close 3 clients. If you generate 3 clients, then you'll onboard 3, deliver 3, and recap 3. We're going to assume that you retain one of those 3. Consult with 1, deliver 1, repeat 1. If and as these numbers play out, if you're selling a $10,000 service, that equates to $120,000 a year. If you're selling a $100,000 service, that equates to $1.2 million a year. These are the bronze standard metrics that everyone begins with, and then you update these according to your particular business. If that feels good, now it's time to prepare for the first quarter of the year. Set your quarter 1 priorities, quarter 1 metrics. Let me show you what that report looks like. You'll go back to the virtual team and be specific about your plans for the first quarter of this year. In the next 90 days, what is your focus? Well, your capacity is 9 clients. You currently have 5 clients, which means you have space for 4 more clients this quarter. We're going to talk about capacity more specifically as we go forward, but for now, you can see your capacity is right here in front of you, and the goal you have to meet this year is right here in front of you. So to meet this goal, what has to happen? There's some box 1 things that need to happen: North Star related, strategic related, intention related, attitude related. And then there are some box 2 through 10 things that have to happen. This is more operational, structural, and procedural things. The virtual team plays back for you what those areas are, why these are the right areas, what task is required to improve those areas. Why is this the right task to improve these areas? What might stop you from completing that critical task? What can you do to limit that distraction? And once you get it right, how will you celebrate at the end of 90 days? The virtual team provides some analysis here to help you think through if you've got the right tasks and perhaps some of the nuances of how to navigate them well. The second half of the report is about your specific next quarter metrics. In quarter number 1, assuming your capacity is 9 clients, you currently have 5 clients, and you need 4 more clients, what numbers do you need to hit? So now you got to have 16 conversations to close 4 sales. Then you would onboard 4, you would deliver 4, and recap 4. You would consult with 1.3, deliver 1.3, repeat 1.3. We know you can't retain 0.3 of a client, but you get the point. There's a note section here to remind you of critical activities required to meet these goals. So the first lift of the virtual team was to give you annual goals. You got a title page, 5-year goals, 3-year goals, 1-year goals, 1-year metrics. The second lift was to give those goals a current quarter focus. You've got quarter 1 priorities, quarter 1 metrics. Now it's time for the quarterly review, and we do the review in 2 parts. The first part is the review of what you've done the last 90 days and preparing for the conversation. We all talk that through. The second part of the quarterly review is preparing for the coming quarter. Set quarter 2 priorities, set quarter 2 metrics. Let's see what that looks like. It's time to review the first quarter of the year. You sit down with the virtual team and they create your report. And they break down every section of your note card. Section 1, 2, 3. You can see that all the sections and subsections are all addressed. You can also see that in each subsection, there's a small analysis from the virtual team to give you some third-party perspective on where you stand. Oh, Trey, I almost forgot. Something specifically that you asked to measure here was in section 4, the difference between your projected and actual numbers. And so that becomes part of the report here. Client acquisition, how many conversations did you project? What was the actual? What's the difference? Client service, how many clients did you expect to onboard? How many did you onboard? What's the difference? Client retention, expected versus actual, and there's the difference. At the bottom of your review is some further analysis from the virtual team. This is the virtual team providing you some thought starters, some conversation starters as you come into day 1 of the review. You have a strength in gold and a development in bronze. The virtual team has broken out the analysis according to those strengths and weaknesses. For the strengths, there's something you should say or admit to the community. There's a question you should ask the community and a request you should make of the community to get some help. I know preparing for the review can be a bit of a lift, thinking through all the different sections. But if you'll lay out those thoughts for the virtual team will help synthesize those thoughts and provide some critical bullet points to share with everybody. So this conversation fuels day 1 of the review. Day 2 of the review, we create our next quarter priorities. You would do this just for quarter number 2. And now, given your quarter 2 focus, what's your capacity? How many current clients do you have? And how much space do you have for additional clients? Given those goals, what's the box 1 focus? What's the box 2 through 10 focus? And how do we see that playing out over the course of the quarter? What are the numbers you have to meet to make those goals true? This is the rhythm that continues. You get your core paper clarity, then the virtual team gives you reports you can print out and keep in a planner. You've got a cover sheet, 5-year goals, 3-year goals, annual metrics. Now let's think about the first quarter specifically. The first quarter needs quarter 1 priorities, quarter 1 metrics. Now we have the quarter 1 review. Sit down with the virtual team and they create your quarter 1 review for you, preparing you for the conversation that you need to have in order to refine your goals for the upcoming quarter. Quarter 2 priorities, quarter 2 metrics. Now it's time to review quarter number 4. In quarter number 4, the virtual team creates your review to prepare you for that year-end conversation. And then on day 2, while we're in Mexico, we focus on our next quarter, our next year priorities, and we create a brand new planning notebook.